Hi, this is Dr. Derby Davis. Welcome to the Wellness Corner, a safe place where we discuss all things wellness. I am so honored again to have my guest, Jeffrey Morgan, come back to the Wellness Corner because I wanted him to just expand on some of the concepts that he talked about during our last interview. So, Jeffrey, welcome again to the Wellness Corner.
Thank you for having me, Dr. Derby. It's a pleasure to be here again.
Thank you, Jeffrey. We just love your positive energy.
Okay.
And the last time we talked, you talked about the concept of forgiveness and really how forgiveness impacted your life. And I really wanted our audience to really hear more about this whole forgiveness on your journey. So I would be honored, Jeffrey, if you could take a deeper dive and just talk about how forgiveness and the concept of letting go really impacted you on your journey.
Well, okay. Forgiveness. I had a lot of resentment, hatred, and anger inside of me. And I was projecting that to other people, people who don't even deserve it. And I realized there were some people who had offended me in the past. And I still carry the memory, I carry everything. And I could not go forward. I could not do. It's like it hindered my progress in so many aspects. My energy was not flowing right, so to speak. And I reached a point where I realized I was more miserable than being joyful. And when I embarked on this journey, I realized, just like every normal human being, I want to be pleasant. I want to be joyful. In not sometime, but all the time. That's like, you know, but in order for me to get to that level of joyfulness, I had to let go. I had to forgive. And I also realized that the feeling or the emotion that I was holding, it has nothing to do with the people. It was the unrealistic expectation that I had. Because I expect people to do this and I expect them to behave that. I expect to treat me like this, but it's not like that. So once I let go of those unrealistic expectations, and even now I still don't have any. So if somebody offends me, or if I think I'm offended by somebody do something out of the realm of my expectation, I have no emotion toward that. Like I feel angry, I feel upset. No, because they're not me and they don't know who I am. So once I've decided to go joyful, live joyfully, all my misery, it's gone. And I create that in my mind while, meditate, I become meditative throughout the day. Because I have to keep reminding myself, it's not something I think about this morning or last week. And they expect it's going to continue. Each day, you have to keep going through this process, reminding yourself, treat each person as you see them. Don't have no expectation, because when you have no expectation of anyone, then you don't even have to forgive nobody because you're not offended by anything. You don't have these negative emotions built up inside of you. You just live, take each day as it goes. You see people, you deal with them accordingly, and the joy that you have, the energy that's flowing from you will at some point reach to them if they are open to accept it. And you have no problem.
You talk about this unrealistic expectation, and I think that's so important because as human beings, we do set up unrealistic expectations of our family, our parents, our loved ones, and these people perhaps cannot live up to the expectations that we have of them. And so now we have to carry this anger, this resentment, can you provide an example perhaps for those so that our audience can really connect to unrealistic expectations that we may have of people in our life that perhaps they can't live up to those expectations?
For instance, you live with your family, right? Even though you're one family coming from the same bloodline and everything, but there's different energy, different force flowing around. And I always said that the people who love you the most are the ones who are going to hurt you the most. because of these expectations. You expect them not to do this, you expect them to do this, right? And like for instance, like you might have you grow your child and you grow them with certain morals, some principle, but yet they become an adult and they go out and they do something that's out of the realm of what you have taught them. And you become so upset, not thinking that that person has a mind, they have a body, a spirit of their own. It's not your, even though they have the resemblance of you and you have groomed them, you have cultured them, doesn't mean that they're going to behave the way or you expect them to behave all the time. We just have to accept it. They might even choose a partner that you're not approve of. Whether it's your daughter or your son might marry a female or a male, or on the opposite, married somebody that you're not approved, you don't like the person, you don't know the person, but you don't like the person. But the truth and in fact, that person might make him or her happy. You know, that the person that they want to continue their journey in life with. It has nothing to do with you. It has nothing to do with me. You just have to accept things as they are. And that's where meditation comes in. We accept.
Thank you, Jeffrey. And I think that is so important. You know, we have these expectations of our family, our children. You know, we want them to behave a certain way. And if they don't behave a certain way, then we get hurt. So basically, we are the one now that's hurt. We are carrying all this pain. We are suffering and they're living their life. We have to realize that we cannot control another human being. The only person that we can control is ourselves and our emotions. And so we have to get to this point, and it's not an easy point. We're not perfect here, but we have to perhaps begin to get to this point where we realize we accept you the way you are. We let go of the expectations, because with unforgiveness, I believe, Jeffrey, when we hold on to anger, when we hold on to resentment, when we hold on to unforgiveness, we are suffering. So forgiveness to me is a way that says, you know what? I am going to forgive you. I am going to release you from the prison that I'm holding you in my mind. Perhaps not even because you deserve to be released, but because I deserve to be free and I deserve to live a life that is filled with peace and joy and happiness.
Yes, I agree.
So, Jeffrey, what advice would you give then to our audience? Perhaps they're struggling with forgiveness and letting go, and they have these unrealistic expectations of people in their life. What advice would you give to them?
The first thing is to control your thoughts, control your mind. Once you control your thoughts, your mind, the physical body, and the flow of the energy will go in the same direction. Don't have no expectation of anyone. Just be you. Be you and don't project yourself on any individual. That's going to cause problem. People, everyone try to do their best. Even an abuser. It's what they know. They don't know anything else. So whatever they do, they're doing their best. So whatever you do and I do, we're doing our best. So don't project or believe because we are at a certain level in our life or we reach a certain level of maturity, everyone going to be at the same level. No, it doesn't work like that. So we just have to see people who they are and just don't have an expectation of their attitude or perception or expectation towards you or me as an individual.
Thank you so much, Jeffrey. I really enjoyed this conversation. Thank you for coming to the Wellness Corner, and we are going to continue this interview after a short break. Love and light.